Welcome into Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey Dani, and on today's show, it's an Arizona Cardinals Day 2 mock, Round 2, Round 3, and some targets that I think the Cardinals should be looking at. We got to address offensive line still. We got to address edge. I got some of the best players available we're going to look at on today's show. This is why you hit that subscribe button, guys. It is free, and I give you free Cardinals news and analysis. Hit that sub button if you love this football team and you want to be educated on who is joining your roster next season. Content all week during draft week and all off season long until we finally get to the season. Then we can start talking football even more. But if you love this team, hit the subscribe button. It's free for you to do so. So obviously Jeremiah Love was the only selection the Arizona Cardinals have made so far. Third overall pick. Didn't get any trade down offers, and so they take the best player available. I see nothing wrong with it. I think he's more than just a running back, okay? He's a special player. He's an offensive weapon, and you're going to be happy to watch him in an Arizona Cardinals uniform repping the red. Now, what do the Cardinals still need? Like I said, I think offensive line is still the main priority here. All right, why? We haven't addressed that yet. It only had one pick, obviously, and so it was too rich to take an offensive tackle. That's got to be the next pick, right? I mean, you need a right tackle specifically. A lot of them went flying off the board, and so all of a sudden, this is something the Cardinals will have to address here on day 2. You definitely would like a starting quarterback. You're probably not going to get that this time around. It's probably Brissett, who's holding out for whatever reason. And then you need an edge rusher opposite of Sweat. And I like to add to the defense, right? Another linebacker wouldn't hurt. Add to the secondary wouldn't hurt if it's best available picks at those positions, right? But I think right now the Cardinals are going to need to focus on edge, QB, offensive line. And so that's probably where I'm going to take my mock draft for today. Some of the best offensive tackles available here include Caleb Tiernan, Travis Burke, Drew Bowery, Austin Barber. A couple of guys, Isaiah World could be a late-round target. Like, you see there's a drop-off, right? And so I do think that the Cardinals will have to address this a little bit later in the draft. But I actually have some good players that I think they could be targeting. Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider, with some breaking updates here that the Cardinals, Niners, and Bills have received calls about trading to the top of round 2 tonight, setting up what could be another busy trade night. It makes sense. Round 1 ended with 5 of the final 7 picks being traded, folks. So Arizona, could they be getting calls already again? This time, I have them making a trade. What I'm going to do for my mock is accept this trade from the Miami Dolphins. Basically, they want to jump up to 34. We go down to 43 and get an additional third-round pick. There's some really good players in the second and third round here, so I'm excited if Arizona could add another pick. You guys need positions everywhere, right? So let's do this, move down a few spots, and then at pick 43, I am going to take Gennings Dunker, the Iowa offensive tackle. I think he's a beast. Look at the mullet on him that you see on your screen. Like, sounds like an offensive lineman, looks like an offensive lineman. I like what I'm hearing about Gennings Dunker. Right? He's a true mauler. Got upside at guard, plays tough, mean, especially in the run game. This is what you need out there blocking for you in Arizona. He's motivated to do it. Really strong hands, does a good job of losing slowly in pass protection right with his anchor. So it takes a while for him to get beat, and those seconds are super valuable just because how strong and big he is. And he's got a stiff lower body, struggles against quickness, right, because he is a big fella. That's why some say maybe you should kick him to guard, but he played tackle his whole career, and that's what Arizona needs. As long as you put him on that right side, he was a right tackle, that should be perfection. That should be perfectly fine. Now, again, right tackle would be ideal when you look at the Cardinals' offensive line depth chart here, but that left side's looking pretty solid, right? Added Paris Johnson Jr., added Isaac Seumalo. Your center's been playing pretty well, too, and so now fixing the right side of the O-line should be your next priority. That's why I do this trade down so we can attack the right side right away and get an extra third-round pick. Strong hands, tested well. That's what you need to know, okay? Actually showed some athleticism at the combine during the drills. Plays really tough, plays really strong, true mauler. And so that's why I'm a big fan of Gennings Dunker and what he could bring to this Arizona Cardinals team. Should also know that he only allowed 2 sacks last year and was very versatile. 77 pass blocking grade, 78 run blocking grade, 80 overall, and 667 snaps. So that's the pick that I would be making for your Arizona Cardinals, folks. Let's get this going for AZ. If you like what I've done here, the trade down for Dunker, let me know about it in the comment section by typing Y for yes or N for no. Get your opinion flowing in the comment section before we get into our sponsor of today's show, which is Prize Picks. It's the app that I can't get enough of. It's the best place to win cash while you watch sports. Playoff basketball is here, big golf tournaments, baseball is underway if you're old school, and personally, I love sports and I love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me on the app to see all of my lineups at JoeyOD1 and get the picks before they even get posted here on the show. You can also follow your friends, share lineups with each other, or explore your favorite celebrity lineups. So what I'm rocking with after I was correct last night, I picked Cardinal Tate to be the first receiver off the board, doubled my money, great payout. Now I'm going with the Cardinals to take a quarterback in rounds 1 to 3. I do think Arizona could take Nussmeier, Aller, Carson Beck here today. So it's really easy to use the app, guys. You can do the same thing on Team Picks, which is the feature I just used, and pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. New user offer, by the way. Download the app today and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks. The link is in the comment section and description of today's video, and that is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. Best players available overall as we round out our round 2 and 3 mock draft for the Cardinals. Jermont McCoy still on the board, ranked as the 12th best player, according to our own Tom Dani here at Chat Sports, NFL Draft Analyst. D'Angelo Ponce, I really like his game. I think he should go high in this round. So should Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Colton Hood. And Denzel Boston, really good football player still on the board. You also see a couple edges there, right? Cassius Howell, TJ Parker, two guys that the Arizona Cardinals could be interested in. Now, there's some concerns with both of those guys, but they are the two best edges still available in this class right now as we enter round 2, right? So I don't know that Arizona wants to take a player that the fans would say, hey, that's kind of risky about, but they need an edge. They're probably ranked higher than the offensive linemen right now, and so consider those two guys as well as R. Mason Thomas and Zion Young who are still available. But I'm going to wait till the third round to get our edge because I wanted to address the offensive line first. I think that's the most important thing. And we can get a steal here and deny Dennis-Sutton, who is still available at pick 65, top of the third round. Sounds like a great Arizona Cardinals draft pick to me. I also hear that the Seahawks really want him. F the Seahawks. Let's beat them out. Take their pick. Give us deny Dennis-Sutton. He's a really good football player. Quality spin move along with a bull rush. Just goes from speed to power. Like, really good technique and upside and potential for Dani Dennis-Sutton. And this would be fantastic opposite of Joshua Sweat, right? Flash, great athletic ability, but not the sum of his parts yet, right? There's still some more here to come for Dani Dennis-Sutton. Very straight line off the edge, tends to run right into players, lacks counters, and so that's part of where the development needs to be had. But he's got the tools, the drive, the athleticism to be successful. Dane Brugler of The Athletic says that Dennis-Sutton will find sack production harder to come by against NFL blocking, but he's a commanding presence, has the size, strength, quickness to be a force on the edge. He will be more appealing to teams looking for a high-floor role player as opposed to a high-ceiling pass rusher. And that's what you need, somebody who's going to come in and start and play well. We got Josh Sweat. We need a guy who's going to play, have a high floor. That's Dani Dennis-Sutton. Also, like I said, super athletic, 4'6", right? 39.5-inch vertical. He's a freak of nature. I'm excited to get him on his football team if the Cardinals do go in a direction that I think they should. He kind of tested a lot like Danielle Hunter, which is a really good positive sign for a Cardinals fan watching this right now. Some of his numbers over the past few years also, look at this. He's got 7 career forced fumbles, 8.5 sacks last year, 8.5 sacks the year before. Consistent, good, solid production, right? 12 tackles for loss, 13 the year before. Like, this is somebody that you want, folks. And if you need an edge, he's a great value pick here at pick 65, top of the third round. And like I said, it needs a little development, but we're talking about third round pick here. You didn't take edge in the first round. Okay, you could have taken Arvell Reese. We didn't want that. Nobody wanted that. Probably not even an edge right away. So you have to wait a little bit, be a little patient. But I think you're getting a really good value edge here. Not the best one in the class, but really good, solid one that will help out this defense. Now, I think we should talk quarterback. Guys. Ty Simpson's not a Cardinal. Despite everybody and their mother saying he would be. Shocker, he's a Ram at pick 13. What a terrible pick by them. They are idiots. However, Nussmeier would be my number one quarterback still available. Aller would be next. Cole Payton, Taylor Green, some interesting options to consider as well. We don't even have Carson Beck in our top 5 here on our top available quarterbacks. So what I'm going to do is take Garrett Nussmeier with the 93rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's have some fun. I think there's a lot of potential for Nuss, all right? He was playing hurt. That's why the numbers went down. But when you look at the scouting report, he was coming off the injury that hurt. That's what hurt his stock. But he's got a quality arm, able to move around in the pocket, buy time, throw it off platform, like really good arm strength. Okay, I think Nuss is the type of quarterback that can succeed. A little shorter for a QB, but a good football player if it just needs to be coached up well. And I think Mike LaFleur is the perfect head coach to do that. He likes quarterbacks that are like this, all right? And the drop-off between the 2 years that he played, 2025, 2024, the year before this, we were talking about Nuss being a first-round pick. 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. By the way, 3 rushing touchdowns, a little bit of mobility you get there. Completion percentage actually went up last year, okay, and still had 12-5 touchdown interception ratio. Just got hurt. Started playing hurt. So I think the LSU quarterback has some potential. Tom Pelissero said this as well about his injury. If he needs surgery, because there's a cyst on his spine, that's what we found out it was. It is a minimally invasive procedure, and he would just miss 2 to 3 weeks while the stitches heal. And then he could go back to being the Nussmeier we saw in 2024. It's fantastic. Now, you're not even going to probably have to start him right away. Jacoby Brissett's going to start week 1, week 2, week 3, right? So that's fine. He could sit for a little bit, heal up, and then come back in and be the Nuss that we knew from a year ago. So I like this swing for the Cardinals in the 3rd round, right? I got us that extra 3rd round pick later in the 3rd. Let's take the swing here. And you can still get your quarterback in 2027. Like, Nuss doesn't have to be the answer for you. I think he provides some intrigue. And, well, clearly, Brissett's not going to be a backup on this roster. He doesn't want to be. So you're going to need one eventually. And I think Nuss has a really high upside backup or even somewhat average starter if he has to get in. And to me, I'd take him over Carson Beck. I saw an ESPN mock draft have the Cardinals take Carson Beck at the top of the 2nd round. What the hell are we thinking about here? No. I don't think that's the move. I would rather a guy that actually has some upside, some traits like Al or like Nussmeier, because you're not playing for your franchise QB here. Jacoby can do what Beck can do better. If you're waiting for 2027, let's get a guy that has some upside and then try to develop him and get your franchise QB the next year. So the mock draft looks like this, folks. Final, day 2 mock from Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. After Love, we make a little trade to get Dunker, Dennis-Sutton, and Garrett Nussmeier. What do you think of that? I'm pretty fired up about it, and I hope the Cardinals do something similar. Be the professor in the comment section for me. Prove you know ball by grading my Cardinals Day 2 mock draft. Give it an A, B, C, D, or an F. And if you're fired up, hit that subscribe button for Day 2. Let me know what you guys think about it, and as always, hit that subscribe button. It has been a fun time hanging out with you all on Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. I've been your host, Joey O'Donnell, and I'll have some more videos for you guys to analyze the rest of the picks the whole way through. So, subscribe. See you next time.